Welcome to Inside the Force. I'm Greg Grunberg, a.k.a. Snap Wexley.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to our, May the 4th. Happy May the 4th to everybody out there. Star Wars Day has become a bigger and bigger event each year, it seems like. Even though this year I felt like it was a little low-key, but maybe that's just me.
Yes. Yep.
But we'll talk about that. Star Wars Day is upon us. Of course, we are in May now, which means we are in a movie month coming out the evening of the 24th here in the States. Obviously, the 25th is the wide release, but Solo, Star Wars Story is coming. We got a lot to talk about this month on that, as well as all the other stuff that's happening. So, news-wise, we'll get right into it.
Well, kind of unfortunately for Star Wars, but Star Wars, it's kind of lame, but Star Wars no longer holds the record for biggest movie of all time. I mean, it's kind of, I only say because there was put out a really nice graphic of image of Rey holding, who was it, Thanos? Or who was it holding?
No, it was a lightsaber.
Handing it to Iron Man, right. As a torch, but hopefully, it got me thinking, I don't even know if there'll be another Star Wars movie to ever make more than Force Awakens. I don't know. It'd have to be a pretty special, hyped up movie, but
I think 9 maybe.
Could be. It just depends, on what we see in the trailers. I mean, JJ would really have to show some really cool, Luke coming. He would have to show something like that, like Luke coming back.
Oh yeah.
He would have to.
Well, it's all about repeat viewers.
Yeah.
Is it good enough for people to go back and watch it over and over? But the biggest question is right now do you think Avengers is actually going to beat Force Awakens in total box office? Because it's already it's already over $1 billion in its first weekend.
I don't know if it can
in 1 week. I mean,
endurance wise, I don't know. I mean, I do not know that, but. I doubt Solo would be able to come close to that. I feel like Solo would kind of do like Rogue One-ish box office, but still, hopefully, I'm sure it'll break $1 billion. But Solo is fast approaching. There are lots of TV spots coming out, more than I'm even able to watch. But from what I have seen, nothing too new, really. A few new shots here and there. Social media has actually had some pretty good, like Twitter, little teasers, character teasers.
Yeah.
With each of the members of the gang. That's pretty cool. Get a little bit of a flavor of each of those characters there. Dave and I actually just ate at Denny's last week on May the 4th, which we'll talk about later. But Solo right now, you can go to Denny's. Denny's is having a special Solo-themed menu, just like a few items that you can go and enjoy. So definitely go do that as you are prepping to see this film. If you like Denny's, that was actually my first time going to Denny's, probably my last time, but we can talk about that later when we talk about May the 4th.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool menu. Not too shabby. But, I mean, it's just, there's nothing, I'm surprised there's not a lot of leaks or anything like that with Solo. This has actually been pretty low-key, I feel like, kind of in terms of leaked stuff-wise. Although, I do not think there's going to be anything too crazy about this movie. Like, surprises of original characters or any big twists like that. I'm sure there'll be a twist in it with some of these newer characters, but I honestly think it's going to be pretty much a straightforward movie. Nonetheless, I'm still very excited. And we bought our tickets. Tickets went on sale this past Thursdays, or was it Thursday? Was it the night before?
It was Thursday night.
Thursday night. Okay,
right before midnight.
Dave hopped on it, bought our tickets, so we are
Yes.
set, ready to go to see Solo.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock Thursday. So
Thursday night.
we are very excited. But other than that, there's really nothing, no news going on besides just a lot of Solo promotion going out there.
Right.
But nothing too new.
Yeah, for just to back up what you're saying, for those of you scoring at home, Avengers did 10 million more than Force Awakens did opening weekend. Mm-hmm. And estimated right now, because it's all about the second weekend. The second weekend really determines your box office run. And it looks like right now, the estimated take for Infinity War right now is, I think, if I'm looking at this right, it's 112 million for this weekend, meaning it's about a 56% drop, which is about average. You tend to lose between 50 and 60% of your audience the second weekend. Mm-hmm. But this is where The Force Awakens was surprisingly massive. The second weekend of Force Awakens was 149 million, which is better than most openings for most films.
Yes.
Almost 150 million is second weekend, meaning it only dropped 39% from the first weekend. So, and Avengers is on more screens. So the per average screen is still higher on Force Awakens. So according to this, technically, it will not beat Force Awakens in all time, because it just, the percentage drop off. The third weekend of Force Awakens only dropped 39%. It did 90 million the third weekend, meaning that's, again, more than most movies do in their open. So it's you're right. I think to think of another movie to do, any movie to do what it did, it's gonna be very hard. Very hard.
I can't imagine what franchise would even.
That's
the current franchise that would even do that. Harry Potter.
The second Infinity War movie, or the
next one,
the Avengers 4, I guess. I don't know if it's Infinity War. I guess they
haven't come out.
Kind of changed it, but just for example, Last Jedi had a 67% drop the second weekend, so that's where it really hurt its box office. But anyway,
well, because of Solo tickets, Fandango has kind of already put out some numbers there.
That's right.
Breaking some records. So Solo in pre-sale, Solo has surpassed Black Panther's first day pre-sale. So after, this is a few days old, but after being out for 24 hours, Solo has, I think it's got number 2 right now.
It's number 2 behind Avengers.
Yeah, right behind Avengers. So Solo seems to be projecting $170 million opening weekend.
Yes, that's
I would hope. I would hope. Oh, that'd be so great.
That's massive.
I hope it's a success. But
Black Panther did 202 opening weekend, so that number could definitely go up. Based on people not buying their tickets yet.
They're definitely doing a great job promoting the film, and I think more important people are finally catching on to it and getting excited. Definitely the merchandise, the toys are definitely picking up. So let's hopefully we all knew it was going to be a fast and heavy, in your face marketing because it was so close to the premiere. So hopefully it'll pay off.
And you had Avengers getting promoted by the same studio. So it's like
that's true. Competing against yourself.
It's like it's amazing that you're putting this movie out, basically 4 weeks after Avengers comes out. So
Deadpool 2, that's not under Disney.
It's Fox.
Still Fox at that point. So
yeah, gosh, that movie sandwiched in the middle. It's like, how do you even compete? That's a week before Solo, so it's like you're definitely going to see a drop off the second weekend of that movie. But we'll get more into talking about Solo, our expectations here in the coming episodes. But I agree with you. I think they've done a great job with the spots. I think they're really hitting on. In fact, I feel like they're really hitting on the adventure side of this movie.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? The feel, just the excitement of doing different things in the film, playing cards, smuggling, and just
the banter.
Yeah,
with Chewie and Han.
It's really good.
And that's my favorite. That's my favorite part of a Star Wars movie. That's why Force Awakens is my current favorite, just because it is so fun to watch. And that's we talked about that last episode with Cody. Is like, I'm just so excited for that for that adventure to come through this, because all the stuff with the Falcon, all the editing, and all the trailers with like pushing the buttons in the Falcon, turning the steering wheel and the nozzles and making it do all these crazy tricks, that resonates.
We saw
so much.
We're seeing stuff we've never seen in the movie before. We've never really seen the console.
You never had that close up macro shots of the buttons, no. The steering wheel is quite strange, actually.
It's like a bicycle stick.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah,
and like those little things he turns, which I mean, the editing makes it look like he turns some kind of lever, which makes it does that flip, that barrel roll, knocking the TIE Fighter. So I've never seen that. Crazy cool.
And I really do feel like, based on did you see that clip? You watched that clip they put out
with
on May the 4th?
Chewie, I think they were.
Yeah, Kira's like she's giving up she's giving up the seat basically as a co-pilot seat because he says we need to do this, and then she's like, okay.
What's the class? I think it's the classic line like divert the
shields,
auxiliary power,
that's right.
Deflector
She's
shields.
like, okay, and then Chewie's like, that's when he's like, and he's like 190 years old. It's that clip, but longer.
Yeah,
and he gets in that seat. Yeah, it's like the first time he gets in that seat. It looks like so. I just think that Chewie, which I think is going to be brilliant for if they decide to do this, it really truly feels like Chewie is the co-star of this movie.
Yeah.
Like I think it's Han and Chewie and Kira and Lando. I think they're just supporting characters. I really think we're going to get a lot of Chewbacca, and I think a lot of fans are going to love that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely.
So
that is the smartest thing you can do, because a lot of people, friends of mine especially, were really hesitant about this movie because Han Solo origin film, like, why do we need that? You know, some people I think were afraid that either he wasn't that interesting or you just didn't need to know his backstory because you think you pretty much knew it. But so the smartest thing would be to make it not just a Han Solo origin, but a Chewie origin. So you have both these iconic characters and both their backstories. So, no, I'm very excited. I think it's going to be in just Chewbacca. He's so hot right now. Chewbacca.
He is.
So,
I think back to where this new film series started with Force Awakens, that iconic from the second trailer, the iconic scene where Han and Chewie are like, we're home. I mean, people went crazy for that scene, right? And it was like, I mean, everybody wanted to see Han and Chewie again, and we got that in that first movie. So it's like, it's almost, again, it's just reflective of that. It's like now we see that friendship that in that movie unfortunately ended.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing where it started, know. So I'm stoked for it. I think I've always been a Chewbacca fan, but ever since really my daughters fell in love with Chewbacca more, I'm in it, man. Chewie's great, So okay, so a couple things to mention before we really get into Star Wars Day, but Celebration. I mean, there was rumors that we were going to get an announcement finally on that day, but we didn't. But on that day, there's a thread out. If people, there's a tweet thread that people were sharing around that someone mentioned. Someone mentioned my favorite moments are when you announced the next one to Star Wars Celebration, and the Star Wars Celebration replied saying, "Soon, patience you must have." So. There is an announcement coming soon on Celebration. Now, rumors are that's going to still, we've talked about it the last couple of episodes, rumors are it's going to be in Anaheim next year. Again, that's not 100% confirmed. So that may be what's delaying the announcement, whether or not they want to, whether or not it's going to be in Orlando and what dates they got available and all that stuff.
It's definitely,
because
they definitely have it decided upon. They had to have at least decided upon now, because it takes well over a year to plan that kind of event.
Well, but right? I agree. But I agree that they know. What do you mean? I think
they're just holding back telling us. They know already where, like the date and the place.
You think they have known, or you think
I think they have to know it
because
now.
To me, I feel like they. I mean, they're Disney. They could have reserved like dates, weekends of both places, and then they're going to pay because. I'm just skeptical because D23 is in August of next year.
I know.
And they keep saying this is going to be in the fall. And it's like, how do you do both conventions around the same period? So, especially in the same spot because it's in Anaheim, D23 is. So it's like, and you can't. And then the rumors again are they don't want to do Celebration early in the year because Star Wars Land is technically doesn't get open until May or June of next year either. So it's like you can't do it in April. I mean, because you want people to maybe flood. I don't know. It's just I think they're working out all that kind of stuff. But I personally, I think they need to do it in Orlando. But they need to fix the whole line situation. Yeah, because Anaheim was a lot better as far as that goes. But anyway, we'll see. As soon as we know, you'll know. Did you see that that cool little 360 clip that they put out there?
Some of it, yeah. That's pretty cool.
So if you guys haven't seen it, StarWars.com has a 360 clip from Solo, and it apparently seems to be the actual Sabacc game that he wins the Falcon out. At least the setup for it, Yeah. So they put a 360 camera in the middle of the table. It's a dialogue mainly between Lando and Han, but you can swing around and see all the players and stuff like that. It's a lot of action going on. It's a really cool setting. It's a cool little video to watch. But it's kind of the future of what you're going to see in these at 360. It's really starting to get some legs, and I want to get the goggles on and watch it that way too. But I wish you could actually do it from the chair, like you're a person at the table. Yeah, like you're watching them back and forth and looking around you there. Because I always like those experiences when you actually feel like you're sitting there versus a place where you wouldn't actually be sitting. You wouldn't be sitting in the middle of the table. But it's a real cool video. So go check that out, StarWars.com. So anyway, I think with you, I think news-wise, that's pretty much it. So Star Wars Day, the big thing on that day that actually was released was new episodes of Forces of Destiny. So, of course, all these are coming out still on Disney's YouTube channel, and this is what they're calling season 2, the second half of season 2. Season 2 was the first, I think this first 7 or 8 episodes was released, and then now, of course, you got it was 8 episodes, and then you got 1, 2. Let me see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more that came out on Star Wars Day, May the 4th. So I thought they were okay. I mean, there were a couple of them that were all right, but there was a couple of them that were really good. I really love, obviously, the ones that are original trilogy. You got, like Luke and Leia had an episode called Traps and Tribulations, which was on Endor, shortly after the Battle of Endor. You had one called A Disarming Lesson with Ahsoka and Ezra being shortly after he builds his first lightsaber, the one with the gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's Early Rebels. You had one that was Monster Misunderstanding, which had Padme on it. So I liked going back into the prequel era. So it was really good. You got to check those out. Those continue to be really good and coming out. Mm-hmm. I feel like, I guess there might be another run. I feel like we don't get really announced like when these things are coming out too much. They just kind of pop out. Thought, like afterthoughts. Just let's make a few. Okay, let's make a few. And how are they making their money on these things? Honestly, because I would think it seems like just keep doing them. I guess
they do release them on Disney eventually as a group. Yeah. And those have Maz in them. Yeah. These don't. The ones online just go straight to the episode. So Maz usually does a good job setting up the episodes. Yeah. But I don't know I don't think they've ever released a Blu-ray announcement or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know if you can move it to the streaming service. That'll make them
I would think they'd be on there for sure.
Yeah.
I would hope.
New episodes. I don't know.
But Force of Destiny, of course, is again on the Disney YouTube channel, which kind of throws things off also a little bit because it's not on Star Wars YouTube channel. So almost feels like, I guess, I wonder if Disney Animation's doing them, not
like
Lucasfilm
crew. I don't know.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, but Filoni's involved, I think, right? So
I would hope so. Head of the animation,
Yeah.
whatever. I would hope so.
but why would you put them on Disney? I'm still a
For
little
some marketing
baffled by
thing, I
that.
guess. I don't know. Younger demographic.
Well, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So anyway, Forces of Destiny out on next part of season 2 is out. And then let's go ahead and talk Star Wars Day. So
Star Wars Day.
Star Wars Day. Friday, May the 4th. As always, on a work day, we had
Yeah.
movies playing at the office.
And there's also a marathon on TBS going on. That
Yeah, there was, because that was on in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had it on in our office because, actually, no, we didn't because we don't have cable, so never mind. The
In
production
your
office
no.
had it.
I think I think
Jed was playing Last Jedi.
Jed was
on
playing Last
on
Jedi,
TV. Yeah,
okay.
that's what it was.
so anyway, what any Star Wars, what'd you get into Star Wars Day? Anything?
Well,
different?
besides our Denny's trip,
Oh yeah.
which was very different. Now I just kind of just watched Star Wars at home. Really, once I got home, I actually can't remember what we did Friday night. I think we just kind of chilled and relaxed. But no, normally I would probably play Battlefront 2, but I'm kind of like out of the Battlefront game right now. So it's mainly just Denny's and watching movies, of course. That's about it. Kind of a boring one for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was anticipating a lot more announcements to dive into, really.
Yeah.
Or we got that 360 clip, we got Force of Destiny. Now we haven't talked about that featurette, I don't think, right? Did you watch that featurette?
Oh, no.
Which that didn't come out Friday.
I mean,
That
sorry, I
came
did
out-
watch it, but we know we have not talked about it.
Yeah, that came out during the week, I think.
Yeah.
Again, that was something I felt like they would have released on May the 4th.
I just don't even understand. For a while, I've not understood their release schedule for this kind of stuff.
I guess it's when it's ready, just get it out there
do
because
it.
it's.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, they've done another one since then. They put out the Donald Glover one when he's walking through the Falcon, giving a tour of the Falcon.
Yes.
Which I think they put out for the Avengers Infinity War fan event, because some people were saying they saw that in theater, so they must have had that in the fan event screenings where now finally it's out there so you can go and watch it. But no, the first featurette, which is only a few minutes long, which mainly it's just the crew talking about
The making of and all that stuff,
and,
yeah.
and Han Solo's character.
It seems like they put one out every movie now these days.
Although that one, it didn't seem the same. It
was called Becoming Solo.
Yeah, so it was more. It felt shorter. But
It was.
maybe
It
they
was.
weren't.
Well, I don't know. It was 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, so-
which is roughly about the same.
But it was
Like,
all centric around, Han Solo's character. And you had Ron Howard kind of doing a lot of sound bites, and Donald Glover and the other cast talking about Han Solo. So it was quite interesting. Yeah, Eunice, or how do you say his name, has never...
Jonas.
Jonas has not been in any of these. So I wonder if they're keeping him from some of those promotional interviews.
Well, he was on Star Wars show
Right,
a couple
yes,
times,
yes.
or a few weeks ago. But yeah, I haven't seen him
they're keeping him hidden.
because in one of those, or in the Chewbacca Roar for Change
Yeah.
video, they fully were like making Chewbacca as a a person, not someone was playing him.
It's like like treating him like Mickey Mouse. It's
Very
Mickey
much
Mouse.
so.
In
Yeah.
Star Wars' Instagram account, they were putting a lot of Insta stories with Chewbacca, like around the office.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
I didn't
it was,
know that.
It was,
I didn't see those yet.
I think I'm sure. I don't know if you can watch them now because unless
They go
saved
away,
them.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just Chewie going like I think what they call it. And so like they had Chewie the best co-pilot, but they crossed out I think pilot and put employee or something like that. So it's just him doing like day-to-day office stuff. So it's kind of like one of those ESPN things with the mascots.
No, I really like those featurettes though, because they really capture you really get a sense of the passion and the love
Yeah.
that goes into making that movie. Those movies. I remember the Last Jedi one was really good.
It was. Yeah.
Because they talked about Carrie a lot in that too, you know, and this one it's all new people. It's not, we're not, you know, similar to Rogue One. It's not unlike Rogue One, it's a story we've never seen before. Rogue One, it was like you kind of know the story, you know how it's going to end because they get the plans and, you know, they give it to Leia, right? You know, but this one, it's, of course, you know the journey that, you know, Lando, Han, and Chewie survive,
Right.
but you don't know the full story of what happened in their friendship and how they got to be where they're at and whether or not he did cheat or not to win the Falcon, you know? So it's, and just how he got into this life is we just don't know. And I think that these featurettes, they really show, again, the passion that goes into this. And this movie is just, I mean, I feel like everybody is fully embraced that this is Ron Howard's movie.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think everybody is behind everybody, even though I've read a couple things like, oh, this thing started out so bad and so much turmoil. But, you know.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people are still worried about it.
I know.
A lot of people have talked to him.
But I think Ron has really grasped it. And just the fact that he was doing all those, basically self-promoting the movie through his Instagram.
Yeah.
As production was going on, as he was redoing the production, I think it really rejuvenated everybody, kind of made everybody forget that he just, I mean, it seemed like he was in it from the beginning almost because he did so much more and redid so much of the film. But
you actually made a good point of a new crew, like a new set of actors. But yeah, because the only actor that has been in any of the Star Wars movies, like of the main cast, that's been in another Star Wars movie is Jonas. That's true because he was in Last Jedi,
correct,
and a little bit in Force Awakens, I think. Right?
Was
he at all?
Yeah, he was he was the walking around
yeah.
Chewbacca,
and he was a majority in Last Jedi.
He was all
Last Jedi. Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean,
all Last Jedi.
That just makes me think like we are definitely getting into a new era where there's no original film actor in Solo, at least that we know of. You know, who knows?
Correct.
Not like Bail Organa or Mon Mothma showing up in Rogue One, or you know that brief cameo of R2D2 and
3PO.
C-3PO. So far we know nothing like that's happening, and that could be the big reveal that we aren't expecting. But yeah, so far no actor, which is interesting. This is the first time.
That's
happened.
Could be all new people. Yeah,
totally new generation.
I mean, Rogue One
Wars
was
actors. Mostly new.
New.
But that's all right. You had the Tarkin recreation, which was kind of a big moment.
Correct.
You had
Vader.
You had the Vader character and
Bail.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like you had Jimmy Smits returning.
Yes.
And you had the actress who plays Mon Mothma, Guinevere.
Yep.
Returning to her roles. So they haven't played in like 10 years. So those veteran Star Wars actors coming back, like there's nothing like that for this movie.
Right.
Yet. So it's interesting. Unless there is some big twist. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like I could see that. Like that would be a cool thing. Or there's some Imperial presence in this movie, obviously. So if one of the squads that are chasing maybe a general or a captain is someone that we know. I don't know how that's even possible, but
yeah, I feel like
how they would do that.
In this, yeah, I definitely expand on this in my predictions, but I definitely, if anybody shows up that's familiar, I think it's going to be in the bounty hunter realm.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Boss could just run.
Oh yeah,
like that would be easier to do, like either IG-88 Forlom Zuckuss or Bosk
or Boba
Fett. Oh, gosh, I mean Dengar actually be not fun.
Dengar would be fine.
Dengar, you can get a good look at him. So
yeah,
Dengar
would be fine. Definitely, I think that's where.
Like they're just,
and I have a theory that I think it's possible. I think we might see Jabba.
It's been
rumored
around. That's kind of a fan hope. I think that's very possible.
Yeah,
very possible for that. Very exciting.
Very, very exciting. So, again, Star Wars Day, I think what came out was a couple more spots, and then, of course, the 360 thing, and which is pretty cool. But nothing, I think we'll get more spots coming out, but not really too much beyond that. I think
I don't need any more, really.
No.
I'm pretty sad.
I mean, you think there's another trailer left? I don't know if there is or not.
Who knows?
Because here's the thing: what we haven't gotten is that trailer that kind of tries to explain the plot of the movie. Like what happens in. Like all we really know so far is that this crew gets together.
Yeah,
they're doing something for this gangster guy played by Paul Bettany, and you see some action with the card game and stuff like that, right? I mean, we don't really know. Again, we've only seen probably 5 minutes of the movie, maybe 5-10 minutes of the movie. So there's so much still, and there's so much story there. It's like, do we get more of a story-centric trailer?
I mean, the only other thing they could do, is reveal what they're going after and kind of set that up. Unless I'd be okay with it if it is just some kind of insignificant item, but important to this story. But if it was like an item that's important that we all would recognize, like some kind of holocron type of level of importance, like this is well recognized by the Star Wars world, then I don't want to know until I see the movie. I
don't think we'll ever get revealed what is they're going after. But you got to think about this too, being such a short marketing campaign. Because you really look at it, I mean, we're getting roughly the same shots and around the same scenes. Because, I mean, they just finished the movie like a week ago.
Yeah.
So a lot of the shots probably weren't even finished yet.
Right.
So you couldn't include them in the marketing. So that's the only reason I can think of is that there's still a couple of good shots that they might want to put out in another trailer. Or they could just flood us with more TV spots. I mean, that's possible too. But I feel like there could be one more trailer come out with, 2 weeks before the movie or something like that. I don't know, but
that happens a lot. I think with big franchises, and they even dub it as final trailer. So I think it's very possible.
So my Star Wars Day, like yours, was Denny's was cool. I thought I ended up getting the Han cup and the Chewie cup,
with 4 collectible cups.
Yes,
with the little Falcon,
and we all got one. We all ended up getting all of them because
Cody got
Lando and
Jeb got Kira.
you
end up getting 2.
I got Han and Chewie because at first they told me Chewie wasn't in.
I know.
But then one of the servers there, God bless her, she said, "I think I'll find one for you," and they found one for Chewie because I gave it to Eliza, my daughter, who loves Chewie. She was flipping out. She was drinking out of it today, actually.
That's great.
So, Denny's up until through June, I think.
June 25th, so a month.
Yeah, they've got the menu. They've got those collectible cups there.
There's some trading cards, I think you
can
purchase as well.
That's right. I thought it was a decent burger. I mean, it was okay.
So, yeah, I got just
You got the pancake thing,
breakfast,
which I would get next time.
It was good. I think I just ate it too fast.
It was called the reactor?
The pancakes was the 2... Wait, was it?
Yeah, it was the reactor.
There was like a 2 moon thing that was something different. But the reactor pancakes, because the selling point were the pancakes. There was 2 of them with like a strawberry jam kind of syrup and Pop Rocks.
That's right. Yeah,
that was pretty exciting. And then you had eggs and bacon and hash browns. So
I got the Blaster Fire Burger. So it was like a sriracha sauce.
Yeah.
Some pepper jack cheese and all that stuff. So it was supposed to be spicy.
Yeah, I think there was the 2 moon skillet. I think it's like a skillet of vegetables and mushrooms with
that looks pretty good actually.
2 cooked eggs on top.
Yeah,
I almost got that one.
So, why they chose Denny's, I don't know. But
so
it's pretty interesting.
I mean, I noticed that though, because on Twitter I get all those sponsored ads. And Facebook, but there's a lot of companies that are using Solo. Like there's like Norton Security company. They're using Solo.
Huh.
So there's different. There's like it's amazing how there's like a few different little companies that are using Solo as their little making commercials using Solo footage, splicing it with their kind of their own product. So very interesting, very surprising. I'm surprised that
Very
they
surprising.
can afford the licensing to do that.
I guess. But Star Wars Day, it's always a it's always just a good time to get on social media and see what everybody's doing. There's so many people posting just comments about it and what it's done for them, and there's actually a lot of people that I read on Twitter that were talking about how actually Star Wars in a way saved their life in different ways, and it's an unbelievably powerful thing. Like you, I didn't do anything Friday night because I had to work. I had to go on a shoot early Saturday morning. So last night though, my daughter Sam, my oldest one, she's 8. She had not seen, because I actually was holding back having her watch Rogue One because I didn't know how much that would affect her as far as all the killing and death and all that, But she made it through she made it through Last Jedi, and I'm thinking there's a lot of death in the Last Jedi too,
Absolutely.
So I was like, "Do you want to watch Rogue One?" She's like, "Oh gosh, yeah, I want to watch Rogue One." So we watched it last night. We popped it in. She ended up falling asleep halfway through it. Yeah. But she was glued, man. She was in it. She actually told me she wanted to finish it tonight, even though it's getting late. But I watched it. I got this big screen now in my basement, this projector. So I watched it fully engrossed, and man, I love that movie. I truly do love that movie. Yeah. Especially, man, the Tarkin scenes with Krennic are just so intense. And this whenever the part where Jen is trying to plead to the Alliance that they got to go to, and then she walks out, and the volunteers are there, and they're all telling her that we're in it. Cassian has that whole speech about they're assassins, but they have to. They feel like they need to do this, and so it's such a moving movie, as well as a war type movie. I don't know. I was watching that, just thinking like, this is a movie that, I mean, I could do this with most of the Star Wars movies, but if you were to say like, what are some of the ones that you can just grab and watch all over and over again? This is definitely, Empire, probably Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens. This is definitely one of the, if not the top one that I would just constantly. And I hope Solo is that type of movie, which I think it will be.
So far it feels like it will be. Yeah, super fun.
Totally. Yeah. And kids will love it.
Absolutely.
Our generation will love it. You know, it's. But anyway, Rogue One is just, it's such a good movie. It's so well done. I applaud everybody. John Knoll, who is one of the big visual effects people from ILM originally. It was his idea to do this movie, and kudos to him to sell this to Kennedy because I really, really love how well it was done. And it was what I kept really paying attention to too was the fact that, I mean, very similar to Last Jedi, Force Awakens, but everything was just still stripped down. The buttons, and you kind of feel like there's even though they're technologically advanced, it seems like there's a lot of just
like analog
lack of technology.
Like,
yes, totally. Like that button does a lot of things, even though it's just a button.
Yeah,
it's not some like holographic thing.
Yeah.
And I get it that a lot of people were upset with the prequels showing maybe an advancement of technology, even though it was before time. But you gotta really think too, because I let myself do that watching Rogue One, is that, I mean, especially in the Rebels in the Alliance, I mean, they're just not privy to that technology. Right. I mean, they're using a lot of old stuff. Like there's a great shot in there too when they first get to Yavin, and there's like this this dolly shot going down this panel. These guys at the, and you got to think about it. Like they didn't necessarily install all that stuff.
They're always using old stuff.
They're always using old stuff, right?
Even Last Jedi, they go back to that old hangar.
Exactly, a crate, right? Yeah. So, it's not like they're building brand new tech, they're using old stuff. So anyway, so I think it lines up pretty well, with all that stuff. So, so what do you think, now that we're I got to get my dates in my line here. So I think the buyout was 2014, right?
No,
2012.
Yeah,
2012 or something like that, right?
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah. So, but the first movie came out 2015. We got all this stuff. I mean, now so basically Disney. This is the 5th Star Wars day under the Disney banner, I think, right? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, sixth one actually. So as we've each year as we've talked about this, because we've actually done, I think this is our 6th episode around, because we started in 2013. So this is our 6th episode around Star Wars Day that we've done. I wanted your thoughts, Casey, on do you feel like, I mean, what basically the state of Star Wars? Like, do you feel like, because there's a lot of fans year after year. I think it always gets brought up about Star Wars fatigue and about is there too much, and we've kind of got a line now of what's coming. I mean, what do you think the state is, and do you think we have too much, or do you think there is a point where we do have too much?
Man, I think right now people are a little weary of Star Wars, the general public, because Last Jedi came out and a lot of people had a lot of problems with it. And I think now Solo, like, great, another one. Like we just got over Last Jedi, and yet you're coming up with another one. But I say that, however, when 9 comes out with JJ, I feel like a lot more people are going to fall in love with it again.
Yeah,
he's going to bring a lot of them back. So I feel like right now it's getting kind of low. It's kind of slowly getting there, but I sense that it'll bounce right back, next year, next December when 9 comes back. Fatigue. I mean, obviously I won't be fatigued by it, but I think the I don't know. I think the current viewers and the guys who grew up with the originals, I think a lot of them might be getting that kind of fatigue, perhaps, because I can see them thinking that what they grew up with is getting so saturated, like those 3 movies. Now it's going to be 10 movies, and with a handful of TV shows and a lot of books and comics. So I don't know. I can see it definitely getting that sense of fatigue in a lot of people's eyes. But the new generation coming up, I don't think that they're going to be too worried about it.
Yeah. So do you think it was still a good idea to release a movie every year, or should they have spread it out?
I think it's fine. I mean, geez, Marvel's done it for 10 years.
I know.
And they're still breaking billions.
But to that argument, that's all new stuff, right? There had never been an Iron Man movie before. There had never been an Avengers movie before. But there had been Star Wars movies before, and everybody knew kind of Star Wars. So,
to me, it's almost a reset button, though. Like, to me, like these younger audiences, like the people who were kind of in the early teens or 14, 15, when the merger happened and we first got like Rebels and Force Awakens, to them, it's
all new.
It's all new. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to hit 10 years and they'll be my age. So, and I think that'll be quite. I don't think they're going to be that sense of fatigue because it'll still be kind of fresh and new to them. Because I think Iron Man came out. I think it was in high school.
10 years ago.
Yeah,
2009.
So I was definitely
2008,
graduating high school. So
2009, yeah.
So yeah, it did feel new to me, and it still feels great. And I still love it. I'm not I'm not fatigued by Marvel. I think a lot of people are fatigued by superheroes in general, but I think that's fine doing one movie a year. I hope they keep it up. I mean, I don't see why they can't do.
Do you think they go to 2? Do you think they go to 2?
I think they're they will wait after 2020, after this first wave.
Yeah.
But I don't see why not. I don't see why there'd be any reason why they shouldn't do 2 movies a year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, I don't know. I think because you put out stuff so frequently, you do open yourself up for more criticism. Because I think people that, I mean, you're gonna have haters regardless,
Right?
But I think you do open yourself up a little bit by putting something out, because people will have that rush argument, like you rushed this out too fast, you didn't think about it. I think that's what a lot of people are complaining with The Last Jedi, was that it was too fast. Only a year and a half or 2 years from the previous one, But you do have the whole other side of that where people love The Last Jedi,
Right?
And it wasn't a box office flop by any means.
It still broke $1 billion.
Yeah,
It did way better than I think everybody thought.
So, but I do think what's hard is, and I'm finding this out, and I'm sure you are too. It's hard to absorb everything.
Definitely,
Because there's so much.
Definitely.
Which I want to, as well as you do, to absorb everything. I remember, I guarantee you can go back to one of our old episodes when I think when A New Dawn hit, the first novel, I remember we always would say we're going to take everything, we're going to absorb everything. We're going to read all the comics, and I am doing it. I just can't do it as soon as it comes out.
Right.
And it took me a long time because I knew the novels, it was going to take me a long time if I were going to read them.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I got into the audiobooks and I was able to bust through all the audiobooks, and I'm caught up now. I'm on The Last Shot right now, which is the current book that's coming out, or that's out. I'll do whatever the next one is, which I think is Thrawn Alliances. Or actually, the next one is the
other Han Solo.
is the Most Wanted, I think, or something like that. Yeah. But that's a junior novel, but I'll probably still do it anyway. But then and then Thrawn Alliance is the summer, and I think the official novelization of Solo doesn't come out till actually months later. I think it doesn't come out till like August. I thought I read. But anyway, I'm up to speed on that. I'm definitely behind on the comics, which I really want to do. But other than that, I'm pretty much caught up. I mean, comics is the only thing I'm really behind. Although I buy every one of the comics, so they're sitting there on my shelf, the trades. So, so it's hard, Force of Destiny, and of course we're going to have. I mean, by the time this streaming service comes out, it feels like there's going to be 2 or 3 TV series types things, because if you compare it to Marvel, I mean, you've got so much in Marvel. You got 2 or 3 movies a year. You've got 2 TV shows or so. Right. They had Agent Carter and S.H.I.E.L.D. out. Agent Carter got done. S.H.I.E.L.D. is still going on, but then you got all these Netflix series. Right. You got 4 or 5 of those going. Yeah. They're talking about a new Marvel TV series coming out next year. But Marvel, if you think about it, and I don't know if they're completely tied, but they've got other series that have come out. I think one called The Runaways.
And then there's one coming out called Cloak and Dagger, which...
Correct. I think that's all MCU, right?
Well, honestly, I don't know, because some of them deal with... I think The Runaways is more mutants-based. I think. The Runaways are more X-Men based?
Yes, but I think it's still...
Now it's becoming Disney, just like Legion on FX.
But that's Fox.
Fox. And that's X-Men based, so who knows? I don't know whether
that stands. The Gifted is Fox, but anything Marvel based, I think it's supposed to be part of the MCU, even though it's not directly tied as far as mentioning or having crossover.
The live action stuff, definitely,
totally. So, Star Wars is going to do the same thing. Every one of these things is going to be tied to the same timeline. Favreau's series, you got Resistance coming out. No telling what other stuff's going to come out, that's going to be tied. But you got Rian Johnson's trilogy. You got the guys from Game of Thrones' movies. Right. you got 9 coming out. You got another Star Wars story apparently in the works, possibly an Obi-Wan, whatever. I mean, there's just more games coming out. It's like,
Right.
I mean, I hope they keep doing more campaign type games
Yes.
that tell stories versus just these multiplayer games,
Right.
So I definitely think that it's we've said it 100 times. It's definitely an unbelievable time to be a Star Wars fan because I remember the 80s when we didn't have content. All we had were the trilogies. We had a couple Ewok movies come out that no one really cared about. But I would have killed to have more movies then. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then all of a sudden now we're getting them, and there's still some people that are against that. And I don't know. I will have my opinions. Again, I didn't think The Last Jedi was my favorite. It wasn't one of my favorite movies. There's definitely episodes of Rebels that I maybe not care for too much. There's definitely, but I'm at least gonna give it a chance.
Yeah.
There's definitely novels that I'm not into.
Comics, yeah.
Comics, so it's like there's no way I'm gonna like everything. But the fact that I have so much to choose from, I can't complain about that.
Right.
So Star Wars Day is a time, at least what we will continue to do every year is just kind of. I want to talk about that and reflect on that. I think we've done that in the past. Is what we think of the state of the
union of Star Wars.
State of Star Wars.
State
Yeah.
of Star Wars. So
I mean, I think it's good.
it's still
The fact that
Still
each,
kicking.
if each one of these movies keeps doing $1 billion,
no, it's never stop.
it's never going to
Never stop. And so that's why, why wouldn't you? Let's try 2. Maybe you'll make
Yeah.
double the amount.
Oh, I know,
every
right?
year.
I mean, Marvel. Look at just look at what Marvel has done.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, anything else on Star Wars Day?
Nope. I mean, we almost got 2 Star Wars days because May 25th is still a Star Wars day.
It technically is. Yeah, May 25th. For those of you who don't know, is the actual first day or the original day that New Hope was released. May 25th, 1977. So Solo is 41 years later, the same day it's coming out. How crazy would it have been if it was actually the 40th year,
Yeah.
last year. But so yeah, 41 years going strong. I can't believe. Well, last April when we 40th anniversary. I can't believe it's already been a year.
I know. I was thinking
Oh my
that the other
gosh.
day. Yeah. Does
We were
not seem like
celebrating,
it.
yeah, 40th anniversary. 50. That's gonna be 150 because that's
Yikes.
again. I'm the same age as Star Wars, so when I'm 50, it's gonna be 50 years old.
Man.
Last thing I want to talk about real quick before we sign off here is we got reached out by a local filmmaker from Kentucky here in Louisville. He is down in Georgia right now as a film student. But last year, and I'm talking about a guy named Mark Alex Vogt. He is a filmmaker from Louisville, Kentucky here. They did a big Kickstarter campaign and raised about $14,000, a little over $14,000 last year to film their own Star Wars fan film. First off, I know, and Casey was involved in some of them, I know a lot about getting people together and do a Star Wars fan film. We did our first one back in 2005 when Episode 3 was coming out, which we thought back then was the final Star Wars film that we'd ever get. And I wanted to make my contribution to the Star Wars fan film library, and we did one called The Force or the Unknown Discovery. But we had a very comedic way about going in.
Right.
We wanted to make people laugh at Star Wars a little bit, spoof. Because my favorite one was, what a lot of people's favorite ones is Troops,
Right.
which is basically what they call the original Star Wars fan film. Came out in 97, I think. It was ridiculously done really well. The effects were so good, and how they made it fit into the Star Wars universe. It was the stormtroopers
Very
investigating, finding the droids,
Yeah.
talking to Jawas, Emperor, and
Yes.
Uncle Owen. So good. But anyway, Mark hit his goal on Kickstarter there, and which is congratulations for one, because that does give you a lot more ability to shoot, rent cameras and costumes and stuff like that you can use for films. But anyway, if you're following us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, we'll probably I'm definitely going to put out this link to this trailer. So the trailer landed on Star Wars Day. A movie called Odyssey is what they're calling it. It is a fan film. It's basically a war movie. It's similar in the style of Rogue One. It feels like they got some 501st guys to come out, stormtroopers, shore troopers, and it's a beach battle basically. So the release of the movie, they're saying summer, so sometime in mid-June, I think they're trying to get this thing done. So if you want to go to their website is odyssey-film.com. Their Facebook page is facebook.com/odyssey.starwars. Again, we're going to put some links out on our website and on our social media, so you guys go check that out. But we're going to help promote this thing and push this thing out as you get ready for this release. So great looking trailer, guys. Hope you guys keep us informed on when this thing is going to be released, and we'll keep pushing for it. So,
and they have a YouTube channel where it has some behind the scenes featurettes of the film, and the amount of work and care they put into it. Man, these guys are blue blood fans, just like all of us. So it does look pretty.
And it's a lesson
exciting.
to the filmmakers out there, because we did the same thing. We shot some interviews and stuff like that, and it's just good. Even if you not sure what to do with it, it's great to have to look back on and learn from, and your crew definitely and cast definitely appreciate that kind of stuff. I remember because back in the day, back in 2005, there was no YouTube. The only way you could get your stuff out there was on your own website, and or mass producing on a DVD like we did. So you wanted, when you were giving people the movie, you wanted, it was a short film. So it's like, I think The Unknown Discovery was only like 7-8 minutes. So it's like, we wanted to give people more material. So we cut a trailer, we cut it behind the scenes, we cut some bloopers, stuff like that. So but now it's like you store everything on YouTube now and everybody can see it. So I don't want to say it's so easy now, but there's so much distribution opportunities now than you had 15 years ago when we were doing it, right? So, and you came on when we did the sequel or the prequel. The prequel to the sequel or whatever. Is that right? The prequel to the sequel, because
it is.
Anyway,
sorry, yours is a sequel.
So, I think that was in the trailer too. Like every sequel has a prequel, or every prequel has a sequel. That was every
prequel. Every sequel has a prequel. I think
every
so.
Sequel has a prequel. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Something like that. I can't remember. But no, I love watching Star Wars fan films, especially these new ones, each generation, because the filmmakers have so much tools to their hands now, and they're making these things look really, really good. Again, check out Odyssey. One that I think I've mentioned on here, but I haven't seen it. But there's one out there called Darth Maul Apprentice.
Yes,
That came out. I think it came out about 7-8 months ago. It's been maybe even
a
year ago.
I think it's been a year.
That thing was incredible. So these fans that are getting together, showing their love for Star Wars, it's just awesome.
I think another one even just came out because I've been getting tweets about it. Forest.net's putting it. I haven't seen it yet, but
which one?
It is called Protector of Hope.
Oh yeah, I think I just saw that
fan film. So I have not watched it yet.
I haven't seen that either. Yeah,
that's good.
I'm glad that you're still making them. Yeah, I'm glad that people are still making them. I'd love to make another one at some point. Maybe we will.
Absolutely.
But again, go check out Odyssey, Star Wars Odyssey, coming here in the next month or two. And we'll actually have, I'm going to try to get Alex on the show. So, or Mark Alex. And we'll catch up with him here soon as we head towards the release of Solo. So this month, as we do with every movie, we will be talking Solo, some topics starting next week. We will be, of course, giving our expectations for the film, our predictions for the film, which, similar to Last Jedi, I just have no idea.
But also, it's just almost like with Force Awakens, it's just like this seems pretty self-explanatory. It's a heist film.
It is a heist.
So
film.
you just got to think of like the details of
What could happen?
Yeah,
Who could pop up though? I don't know. Like,
that's the only thing is like I would think it. I don't know. No one could very well pop up. No one
True.
character. So it'd be. I don't know. I would if I were to guess that someone would. It'd basically be just for my benefit. But actually, what I think will happen in the story, I don't know. I mean, someone will probably turn on somebody. You know, there'll be some self-sacrificing, but I have some time to think about it before our prediction episode.
very true.
Don't know too much.
Because another thing is deaths and stuff like that. You know, because
of the new characters who
the
will
new
die.
characters. Yep. And another thing, one thing I want to definitely, I'll just tease it right now. The next episode, what I want to talk about in the next episode, because I'm already this got brought up as a rumor too, or actually not a rumor, but I think it was revealed that Alden has signed multiple films.
Yeah.
So
The heck?
could we get?
So Han Solo's not going to die. No.
Well, no, yeah, true. But could we get our first, a sequel to a Star Wars story? Oh my gosh! You know what I mean? Like, could there be more Solo movies?
With that the idea of that, but not for Solo. So
okay, so next episode we'll get into
yeah.
that. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Of course, InsideTheForce.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. He's Kryptonian1138 on Twitter. I'm DCottingham21 on Twitter. Thanks, everybody, for listening to us. You can get every episode right there on the website. So take care, everybody. We will check you out on the next episode for Casey Cooley.
Look, your worshipfulness. Let's get one thing straight. I take orders from just one person, me. So I choose that because I feel like that characterization of Han Solo is what we'll get in the film because we never quite saw him as that lone wolf scoundrel. We haven't really seen it yet, so I think this is the time.
Very true. And of course, like Casey said, get your tickets if you haven't gotten it yet. They are out and they're going fast. Again, second highest pre-sale this year, behind only Avengers: Infinity War. Go get your seats. Thanks for listening, everybody. For Casey,
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm Dave. May the Force be with you.
Thank you for listening to Inside the Force, a Star Wars podcast hosted by David Cottingham and Casey Cooley. For more shows, additional content, articles, and the latest Star Wars news, please visit InsideTheForce.com. Inside the Force. For the Force, then all of us.